Dark Passage, the small town of Lighthaven had been cursed with misfortune for generations. It seemed as though every few years something catastrophic struck the town and turned it into a nightmare. On this particular fateful evening, a strange mist descended upon the town. As it thickened, the darkness became so thick that the stars and moon could no longer penetrate it. Soon, all that could be heard were strange, distant whispers. The townspeople were frightened. Some stayed in their homes, while others ventured out of the safety of their front doors, looking for some sort of assurance that everything was going to be all right. Little did they know that the terror that had descended upon the town was something much more sinister than they could ever imagine. The whispers grew louder and more frequent, until the townspeople could make out what was being said. They heard words of death, destruction, and despair. It was said that the mist was soon to bring upon the town an ancient, evil force known only as the Shadowman. The people of Lighthaven quickly began to panic, and yet, no one knew what to do. They were trapped in this living nightmare with no way out. Desperate to save their town, the townspeople tried to come up with a plan. They decided that they should march down to the town's old graveyard and perform an old ritual, one which would hopefully lift the curse and keep the Shadowman at bay. Despite the fear that engulfed them all, the townsfolk agreed to take part in the ritual. However, just as they were about to begin, the mist parted and out of the darkness, the Shadowman came out. The Shadowman stood tall, looming over the townspeople. He spoke in a deep, hollow voice, telling them that their efforts were pointless and that he was here to stay. No matter what they did, they could not escape his clutches. The Shadowman then reached out a long, pale hand and touched each of them with a cold, unforgiving touch. They were all frozen in fear as the Shadowman drained them of their life force, leaving nothing behind but empty husks of their former selves. The Shadowman had won, and darkness was to remain in Lighthaven for eternity.